Hello everyone. So in our previous class we have just learned about the agriculture development and the green revolution. Okay, and I had just told you about the definitions and meaning of the green revolution. So today we are going to start from the key features of green revolution. Means what are the basic features we are getting from green revolution? The use of high yielding varieties of seeds, mechanization of agricultural practices, high use of chemical fertilizers, increased use of pesticides. Means in green revolutions, we get a high yielding variety of seeds. Means seeds which can grow more and more lots of foods. Thereafter, mechanization of agriculture practices means we have changed the way we used to agriculture or cultivate food in our earlier times. High use of chemical fertilizer means in nowadays in green revolution the chemical fertilizer, the using of chemical fertilizers has been improved and it increased. Thereafter, the use of pesticides are also increased for better performance. Okay. Thereafter, significant use of irrigation means for water purpose we use a thing which is named as irrigation. Thereafter, increased use of electricity on farms means on the farms where we used to put our food and crops and seeds. Over there we use a lot of electric current. Thereafter, multiple cropping. This means that two or more crops could be grown on a field in a single growing season, thereby allowing optimum use of the land. Means in the same land we use two or more than two kinds of crops in the single field and in the single growing season, so that we can get the optimum use of land. Means great accuracy. Okay. Thereafter, the next thing which come up is benefits of the green revolution. So what are the benefits we are going to get from the green revolution? Means the advantages of green revolution. There was a huge increase in agricultural output. There was increased efficiency in agricultural practices. More efficient use of land also meant that fewer forests needed to be cleared for agriculture, and multiple cropping brought production cost down. This in turn lowered the price of food crops. Means the increase in the agricultural output, as I had told you before, that the yielding of crops is high. There were increased efficiency, means as I have told you that the seeds which have a high efficiency, so that the input will be equal to the output. Okay. Then more efficient use of land also mean, that means in the third point it is just telling us about that we can use the 100% of the land. Okay. Then multiple cropping means in the same land or in the same season we can grow one, two or more than two kinds of different crops on a single surface. Okay, or in the area is called multiple cropping. There after demerits of green revolution means these are the disadvantages of green revolution. So high uses of fertilizer, pesticides polluted the soil and groundwater. Means in green revolution we basically use a lot of fertilizer and pesticides which not only pollute the soil but also pollute our groundwater also. Then heavy use of chemical fertilizer over long period of time led to a depletion of soil's natural fertility. Means if we are going to use a chemical fertilizer for over a long period of time, it will just deplete. Deplete means the soil will lose its natural fertility, the fertility it gets from the nature. Okay. Then many of the new farming methods were expensive and benefited only the rich farmers. It means in green revolution there are some new farming methods which are a little bit expensive, and only rich farmers can afford and get benefits from that farming method. Then the use of machines in farm replaced human labor, thereby causing an increase in unemployment. Means as the number of machines increased in our unemployment, means as so in farms, so as we can see that there has been a farm, okay, or a land where 100 people are working. and after that some machines is arrived. Okay, some machines has arrived, and thereafter what we can do, we will just decrease the number of laborers. So what, it will increase the unemployment in that area. So this is the thing which is the disadvantage of green revolution. Then new farming methods also used more water and electricity. Means the new farming method which has been generated will need a more water and electricity. Then intensive irrigation led to waterlogging and increasing soil salinity in many places, result in a sharp fall in yield. Means if we will do intensive irrigation, means the water system, okay, so it will lead to the waterlogging, means water getting logged in the soil, and it will turn into salinity, which increase the soil salinity. And for your kind person, let me tell you that the soil salinity will never allow soil to grow more crops. Okay, so that's why the yielding will be become less. Then we are going to learn about the agriculture in India. When India gained independence in 1947, the country was barely producing enough food to feed its people. Means in 1947, when India gets the independence, we don't have that much facilities to grow more crops. The area under food crops and yield per hectare were both very low, and famines and death due to starvation common. Means our area for the food crops and yield per hectare was very low, and many peoples were died due to the starvation. Then after several decades of focused effort, India is in much better position today. The green revolution helped India gain food security through improved production of grains. This means that after several decades, we have just put our focused effort, and that after that, India is in much better position than other countries in today. Okay, and from the earlier days in nowadays, India is in the better position. The Green Revolution helped India gain food security. Means Green Revolution helped to gain more grains and seeds and crops and foods, so that our food security will be improved. Since then, many more initiative has been taken by the government of India to improve agriculture productivity and conditions of farmer. And after that, our government has taken so many steps so that the agriculture productivity will increase and the conditions of farmer will be better. So, at present, over half of India's population depend on agriculture for their livelihood. A significant amount of India gross domestic product (GDP) also comes from agriculture. Means in India, about half of the population will mainly depend on the agriculture for their livelihood, and the GDP, the GDP of India will also comes from the agriculture. So it plays an important role in the economic development of the country. Despite this, agriculture in India continues to be plagued by many problems. And after that, there has been many problems still facing by our farmer. And those problems are, more than two-thirds of the farmer in India are marginal farmer with very small farm or less than 1 hectare. This is because of fragmentation and subdivision of land. When a farmer passes down his or her land to the next generation, the land is divided between the children. This land gets divided further between their children, and so on. So this is the things which has been arise now, that if a farmer have a large plot of land, then after when he died, he have two sons or three sons, then the land will be divided, and after this process will just started, and it will get divided and carry on so on. Then what, how can we grow more crops if the land is being divided? So this is the major problem which has been arised due to the division or due to the small plot of land. Then due to the small size of land, many farmer practice subsistence farming. Means if a farmer have a small size of land, then he will just practice the subsistence farming, where they won't produce enough to meet their personal requirement. Means the food crop from the food grow from their land is not even enough for their own productivity or for their own personal requirement. So they continue to use traditional method of agriculture as they are often ignorant of modern farming method or cannot afford the materials needed for modern farming. Means they used to just start their traditional method, they won't follow the modern method because they don't have such money or that much power to afford the material needed for modern farming, and this is the result. So they get the poorer yield and increasing losses in the farming. Okay, and thereafter they were getting trapped in the cycle of poverty. The intense poverty of these farmers forces them into debt. Since their expenditure is more than their income, they borrow money from money lender at very high rate of interest. Means, and as we have just seen in our previous point, the poverty level has been increased, and if the poverty level has been increased, the farmers start to get some debts from a money lender. Okay, then after that, what they just take the money, I mean they just lend the money from the money lender. Thereafter they have to pay a huge rate of interest for that money, and those farmers were getting in a extreme condition, and thereafter they commit suicide because they won't be able to pay back their loan. So this is the major problem according to me which has been facing by our India. Thereafter, inequality is one of the characteristic feature of Indian agriculture. Around 67% of farm in India are less than 1 hectare in size, and they occupy just 25% of agricultural land, while 5% of the farms are over 4 hectares and they occupy 30% of agricultural land. Means there has been an inequality which is carried on in India. Around 65% of farms in India are less than 1 hectare in size. Means the size is very small, and they occupy only 25% of agricultural land. Means only 25% of the agricultural land has been using for agriculture purpose, and rest of the 5% over 4 hectares, they are used for the farms, like for the go down storage and all, and thereafter they occupy 32% of the agricultural land. Means the farm which has been set up, they almost occupy 32% of agricultural land. So this is the pattern which reflects the income earned by the farmer, and the income earned by the farmer is very less. Then, India is one of the leading countries in the world with respect to both the total amount of land under agriculture and agricultural output. Means India is one of the leading countries in the world where we get the total amount of land under agriculture, and our agricultural output is also good. It is also among the highest exporter of agriculture produce in the world. Means India is the highest exporter till now. However, a lot still needed to be done to improve the condition of agriculture and marginal farmer in India. But still we need to do more development and do something more to improve the condition of agriculture and marginal farmers in India. So our chapter has been closed now, and thereafter in our next class, I am going to give you the question answer and exercises. Thank you.